Netflix recently released a movie called The Wrong Missy. It has an official TVMA rating, and I'm pretty sure the MPAA would have given a hard R, and I think I know why. The Wrong Missy is about a guy named Tim Morris who goes on a blind date with a girl named Melissa, and it turns out horribly. And so after that date, he never wants to see her again, but he happens to meet another girl named Melissa, and they hit it off, and he gets her number. Later on, his company is getting bought, so they are going to go on a trip to discuss the terms of the merger, and he wants to invite the Melissa he met in the airport, but he ends up texting the wrong one and goes with the Missy that he met on the blind date. Being an adult romantic comedy, it has a lot of the typical adult content, like sexual material, language, and it has a little bit of drug use. This movie has a lot of sexual content in it. For instance, there is a scene on the plane where Missy is doing some things with Tim under a blanket. There's also several intimate scenes, and not all of them are consensual. There's a time where Tim wakes up and finds Missy on top of him. There is a scene where Tim and Missy are going to have a threesome with his ex Jess, but this scene turns into mostly kissing and has some comedic violence in it where Missy and Tim end up accidentally hitting Jess several times and knocking her off the bed. So it has a lot of sexual content in it. These scenes are not very graphic, and they mostly just imply what's going on, but at the same time, it's really obvious what they're doing, and some of the scenes get pretty long. Language is the most prolific part of this movie. It has a lot of F words in it. Missy says the F word almost constantly. Tim says it quite a bit also. There's several characters that say it too. It's all throughout the movie and pretty constant. There's also other curse words in it, but they're not nearly as common as the F word in this movie. As far as violence, like I said, there's that one scene that's for comic where Jess is getting kicked off the bed several times. There's a scene where Missy is going to dive off of a cliff into the ocean, but she ends up tripping and falling off the cliff. But it's done in a comedic way, so it's really over the top, where she falls into several branches and finally lands on the beach and gets up and is perfectly okay. There's some drug content in this movie too, where it shows people smoking weed, or there's a scene where people are brushing their teeth with weed toothpaste in order to get high. Missy forces Tim to take a dog tranquilizer on the plane because she thinks it'll help him relax. Later on in the movie, he finds the dog tranquilizers and takes a couple himself. This movie would get a hard R for several elements because it has a lot of sexual content and language and basic adult comedy content. So I believe that this movie would get rated R for sexual content, language, and some drug use. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. If you want to see more videos based on movies and what the MPAA rated them and why, subscribe to my channel. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at MovieMortalYT. Thanks for watching.